Good evening. Good evening, Who fans. If you had told me 15 minutes ago I'd be smiling when we came on live, I'd have said you're crazy. But the Who's pull it out 31-30. Welcome into the Cavalier Connection post game. I got Jay with me here tonight as well. How about them Who's? Resilient,
Man.
resilient. And I got to tell you, and I know Jay's got to be feeling this way, and you guys out there got to be feeling this way. The luck of Virginia through the years had to tell you on that last play when they were fumbling the ball and it was squirting around and squirting around. It looked like the game was over and we are on top of it. Next thing you know, the ball is pitched and we got guys running to the outside. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And God forbid we make a tackle down there like at the 50 and get a face mask or something, adding 15, and they get another play. Oh, my. 31-30, we go up 31-30. I'm thinking in my head, there's too much time on the clock. We stop them. We get the ball back, but we got to punt it again. There's too much time on the clock. But I mean, it couldn't work out any better. I was scared, that on that punt, they were coming and they didn't miss that by much. But it kind of we benefited because the punt, having to get it off so quick, it was a low line drive and it just rolled and got all the way down, inside the 5, which was huge. So a lot to discuss. If you have questions, if you have comments, is your heart pumping as much as mine is? Put it into the comment section. Let's discuss it. I want to talk about all of it. We'll start out with, Virginia they won the game. We're happy. That's a win. We're 2-0. So, I was making a list of positives and negatives, and there's a lot of positives, plenty of negatives from the game, plenty for Coach Elliott to talk about. But, this is awesome. Way to go, Who's. Yes. It's great to see somebody chirping in already. Way to go, Who's. I'm with you there. I don't need CFW UVA Natty.
Yeah, way to go, Who's.
Good stuff.
Man, I got to tell you, that seemed like in long stretches, like it was so hard. And then it would be like something would click and just the game became very easy all of a sudden.
Yeah.
I think I tweeted with 30-17 at the end of the third. Wake Forest had the ball. It feels like the game is over. And I think it was, had they just run the ball. They got a little bit cute and passed the ball a couple times when they didn't need to, ended up getting in a 3rd and long, and we got to stop at 30-17. And then you and I were texting, and you said it feels like it's a must score here. And it was 100% a must score there. Got that score, and then it was like, okay, as bad as it's been, and as much as it feels like they've kind of dominated us, we're one score away. You're one play away. And man, can't say enough about the heart of the defense, because we had a lot of reserves in there throughout the night. The injury bug was not kind to us tonight, and we're going to feel that one for weeks to come, I think. Good thing, though, is it's always better to learn and heal when you get a win than when you lose. And, there's a lot to say that I didn't like. There was a lot of play calling by Coach Kitchens that I didn't like. But, we can talk about all that. We can talk about all of it. Glenn Dotson says the program really needed this, could possibly really propel them forward now. I know I agree, Glenn. How about you, Joe?
Oh, no, definitely. And to get that win on the road, now we get to come back home and play Maryland. If you take a loss there, a couple things. Number one, what's the crowd going to look like at Maryland? And then, the momentum building up, going back home to play Maryland. That's huge. Real quick, I know neither one of us got our final scores right tonight. You got the Virginia score side right.
Yeah.
I do have a question. The $20, does it count if I put on X that the turnover's coming?
Oh, that was a good call. That was a good call.
We hadn't seen it, and what a play! What a play that was.
Timely.
That's huge. And to Wake Forest, they need to jump on the ball, and to come in there and strip that ball from him like that, that's huge. I mean, One of the big words I had written down as a positive is just resilient. The number of injuries, like you said, they moved the ball on us all night, but when the game was on the line, the defense made a play and
Yeah,
made plays, and the number of sacks tonight's unreal.
yeah.
Like this team, they've almost matched last year's sack total through 2 games.
Do you know
Really,
what the official total is for tonight?
I'm gonna
I
look and
got the
see.
game box score. If
I
you
say I
you can
got the
keep
team
going, and I'll
stats up.
take a peek.
The sacks for the night, or let's see if I can find that one. But I want to say it's probably I want to say like 6.
Oh, and I got to go back and change these stats. My computer had
6.
not updated, um, so I got to take that banner down, update those stats.
6 sacks tonight. Clary, Sanker, McDonald, Jackson, Robinson, Chico. And we sure hope Robinson's going to be okay. I mean, every play, it felt like we had a injury timeout, and we had somebody laying on the turf.
It really did, and it wasn't just like it was the Cam Robinsons of the world, and he
Right.
didn't come back,
It wasn't
which is
Jeff Lowe laying on the
scary.
turf.
Yeah, I mean,
Sanker was down for a play. I was like, oh
yeah,
god.
Clary left the field for a little
Right.
bit. Um,
Corey
it it
Thomas.
it, it was just it was terrifying. One thing I do want to call is our boy Tyler Neville.
Yes.
If they keep on using him the way he was used tonight, we didn't see it last week against Richmond, and I'm guessing some of that was just a vanilla game plan. But there was a lot of more plays where Calandria could have hit him underneath, but he took bigger chunks down the field. But 4 for 68.
Yep.
For Tyler Neville with 2 tutties in there. And we're big Tyler Neville fans, support. He loves the show. And of course we had him on earlier, but my goodness. What a performance. Let's talk about the play calling though, Jeff. You get the big turnover, you get the strip there at the end. Now, first down.
Yep.
You come out. You know you're gonna run. I mean, you're gonna run.
Yep.
All right. And instead of just going smash mouth, what'd they do?
Do
you remember?
Yeah, I remember. We went Calandria. Same thing we did down on the goal line. On that,
Straight to the sideline, running east to west. It makes no sense.
Right.
Like you're trying to run out the clock and you just put yourself in 2nd and 12.
Right.
So then, second down, okay, you ran the ball pretty effectively. I mean, you got what? 3, maybe 4. Set up a third
and 8.
Okay, so I think you got 4 on that play. If you'd have done that on first down, you're 2nd and 6, then you pick up 3 or 4 more, then you're in a gettable. So, we were texting. We both said, let's throw the ball here. Let's try to end the game, get a first down. But what do? We throw the ball short of the sticks. It just kills me when teams do that. I know it's throwing to Malachi, and you're probably counting on him to break a tackle and go get that first down. But, you can't do that. I mean, it worked out, and then, my God, the punt, we had one blocked, and then we have to punt there. Dude, I honestly, I thought the punt was blocked.
Right.
Because I thought it was a low kick. He had no room to get it off.
Right.
I don't know how he got the punt off.
Right.
And then it, we'll call it a Virginia bounce that we got, and that really set the tone for that last drive. What I was sure was getting ready to come out on that crazy play. Hats off to Green from Wake Forest.
Yes.
That guy's a stud.
Unbelievable catch.
But Jeff, I was sure there was a targeting.
On Sanker.
Which would have not only cost him this game, but it would have cost him the first half against Maryland as well.
And then 15 yards.
And 15 yards. And then you go from there to they would have been at the 45, and who knows what happens after that. But hats off to the officials for not calling that, because when they showed the replay, it was like, okay, it clearly wasn't. But watching it live, I said, oh my God, we just did that.
Yeah. I want to talk about one more thing. And this, I'm gonna get to a bunch of the positives. Just one more thing, and it's not just a Virginia thing. This is a college thing that I don't understand. But so we do our version of the tush push, and we get in the end zone. We run the play with over 2 minutes to go. We could have took the clock to the 2-minute warning, and then you say you do that, and you run that play, and you get in, and now we're at 157. We kick off. And then they may have to. They got an extra timeout out of that.
So,
And
so
this
here's
is not
my only complaint or only thought on that, Jeff. I would have run the play at 2:01.
You can do that too.
And here's why.
Right.
They were tired.
Right.
They've been on the field.
Right.
Don't give them a timeout to get. Right. Not that I think they're going to stop the tush push from the 1 yard line, 3 plays in a row, which is what you would have seen there. But, take it to where the touchdown and then the 2-point.
So they don't have that extra timeout. I agree. No, that even makes more sense. But if you see it in college football, it's crazy. Like the clock management has definitely been off, with the 2 minute, whatever they call it.
Well, the clock management at the end of the first half by Virginia was atrocious.
Yeah.
You could have called timeout with like 22 seconds left when they had that completion in the middle of the field, and they just kept it running. By the time you get the next play off, it's like 9 or 10 seconds.
Right.
And who cares? You got your timeout left, but I mean, you can't do anything with it.
Right.
But go ahead, go over your list of positives, because I don't want to be too negative.
No. Definitely positives. And you mentioned Tyler Neville. Also, Malachi Fields, as they said, that's a Sunday receiver right there. That guy's a monster. And what did he finish with, Jay? 11 catches,
for 148.
That's just unreal.
That's a lot like Malik Washington's line last year, but it's a whole lot more man this year. Malik is just talented and fast, and but Malik is just a man, or Malachi's just a man.
Malachi, he's tough. I mean, he's a big guy. He's hard to bring down, and he made some tough catches out there.
Fourth down, tough catches.
Yes,
so we don't win that game without.
Those throws are behind him. That fourth down, that last one he caught, that ball's right behind him.
And do you know why? It was actually Calandria did the right thing. That D lineman came at him.
Right.
And if he throws the ball where he needed to throw it, the lineman's batting it down.
Right.
He kind of slowed down and went 3/4, and thank God Malachi pulled it in.
Yeah. Calandria, 350 yards passing.
It's rolling across. It's close to that.
I've got it on my
357.
357, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks. I call it 3 touchdowns, 1.5 picks. They're all picks, but that first one is something you don't see too often, where the lineman bats it and it goes way across the other side of the line and gets taken. But as I said at halftime, I tipped my cap to Calandria. He went and made that tackle. That's a big boy he had to bring down.
Oh, yeah.
And he made that play, so that was good.
6 sacks, Jeff. I had asked earlier how many.
Yeah, 6 sacks. Yep.
Yeah. Can we talk about also? So my article this week on the 1-2-3, I said we win this game by pounding the rock. And I based that off of North Carolina A&T. Freaking North Carolina A&T being able to just pound it at them. And we couldn't do that, or we didn't do that for whatever reason. Kobe Pace, after last week's huge game, I thought Kobe would be huge. And he got 5 carries for 14 yards. Xavier Brown got more of the workload tonight. And I don't know if you noticed early, Calandria took one of those balls at the goal line when he should have pitched it.
Yep.
and Pace was yapping at the sidelines hard.
Yep.
I hope it wasn't like a punishment. I hope it
Right.
wasn't that, because he should have been yapping. Stop running the
Right.
daggone quarterback at the goal line.
Right.
I mean, unless you're running the tush push with Brosterhouse, stop doing that.
Right.
Kobe Pace is a monster. Give him the ball down there. I mean,
Yeah, no, I don't know what everything was east west, and he ran 5 times for 14 yards. Of those 14 yards, 10 of those were at the end of the game.
one carry, yeah.
But I think that not running the football was costly tonight. I think our offense would have done even more if we ran the football. And when the defense can't get off the field, and how many times did Wake Forest even punt the ball tonight? I just want to see. It was very few.
I was gonna say, did they punt it?
They did 3 punts. 3 punts.
Yeah,
3 punts. But when the defense is having trouble getting off the field, let's control the clock a little bit more. Let's run the ball a little bit more and play a little play action. When we had that, we played with that pace and a little bit of hurry up, and we got a little bit of success running the football, and it just opened up play action. It wasn't even a whole lot of success running, but it was enough to allow for that play action. Xavier Brown, 9 carries for 35 yards. But it allowed for that play action. Anthony Calandria's runs weren't allowing for no play action.
No,
it just wasn't working.
So Kobe did have 4 catches for 8 yards. I mean, just
he had he had a big one though on a 3rd down, and
one was for 7. So he had 3 catches for 1 yard. If you take
that yard, that 1 yard was a big one. But I think didn't he have a catch for like a -3?
-2 on 1, yeah.
Another positive, which is also a negative, is a positive for the most part, because all players have this happen. Funny enough, Xavier Brown just started a live video himself on Instagram.
Oh, nice.
Is Terrell Harris. He dropped that ball in the first quarter. I mean, what a pretty pass by Calandria. Dropped it right in there. But Terrell Harris finished the game 7 catches, 91 yards, and a touchdown. That guy's a monster too.
Imagine if he catches that ball and you're 8 for 145 and 2.
Right.
Who's the offensive player of the game? Is it AC? Is it Fields?
And then AC's over 400 yards with that too.
Right.
And 4 touchdowns. Yeah.
He's going to put up numbers every week.
Yeah. Yeah. If you have fantasy college football, Calandria's a good one.
Oh, for sure.
Cam Ward in Miami, I think he had 5 touchdowns in the first half tonight. At Wake, I could hear right there at the end of the game. Could you hear the Virginia fans stand out? I could hear a UVA chants going.
Oh, I could hear a UVA. Yeah.
That's nice to see. I mean, I thought the effort was good, and the resiliency that comes out from Coach Elliott, I believe. There's some questionable things. We're not coaches, and it's easy for us to sit here and question things. But I will say the resiliency of that team, I think that's Coach Elliott's personality. And those games last year, we lost. And if you look back to last year, we lost all those games like that. So to finish a game was huge. I mean, we trailed all the way to 2 minutes to go.
Yeah. 14-0 in the 4th quarter. So again, I've said this probably 10 times on our podcast. There's 4 stages to a program, Jeff. Lose big, lose small, win big. And we're in that middle ground of lose small, win small.
Yeah.
Which is where a lot of teams live, right? And so we're going to find ourselves in games that come down to the 4th quarter with all of the injuries, with it looking like honestly, it looked like they dominated the line of scrimmage tonight. Yep. Where do games get won?
In the front.
In the trenches.
Yeah.
And it looked like Wake Forest dominated the line of scrimmage tonight to me. And yet we found a way to get it done.
That
And so,
last
yeah,
year there were games I felt like we dominated in those areas, but then in the end we were to Wake Forest last year.
right.
We lost those games in the end.
Louisville,
Yes.
JMU. There's others, but those two specifically stand
You just
out.
look at the rushing yards, 141 to 73. If I'm a Wake Forest fan right now and I'm going live, I'm pretty ticked at my coaching staff for the play calling on their end. I'm gonna
Yeah,
just pound and pound and pound. Like we just couldn't stop it. That offensive way they run their offense
yeah,
and I don't understand. I don't know. I just felt like at some point, screw it. When they stand back there and holding the ball, just the defensive lineman, we got to find a way to get there, get to the quarterback, get to the running back, and we got to sit back and because their only completions were on those kind of play. He wasn't just dropping back and just picking us apart just regular.
right.
You see what happened at the end of the game when we knew the pass was coming. The ball he completed to that Green. I mean that catch is ridiculous.
Oh yeah. Do you see his numbers? I know they're a little bit bloated by that last play in the last drive, but have you
Who's that?
seen Bockenheimer's numbers?
Yeah, 403
Bachmeier,
yards, 403 yards,
403 yards passing,
but
but only one touchdown.
166 to Green, 91 to Morin. That's 18 catches between the two of them.
And he was running for his life back there because there's not running quarterback designs, right? They didn't run. I don't remember anyway a straight up quarterback designed run, and maybe
those scrambles. He ran for
21 yards. But my point was he had 13 carries.
Right.
And if you're not designing Calandria had 13 carries, and we designed almost all of those.
Right. Well,
these were 13 because he needed to run.
And 6 of those are sacks. So they're negative plays. But I mean, I see his stats. I just didn't feel like he picked us apart. I felt like it was not just drop back, pick us apart. We just were sitting there. What do we do? What do we do? Are they running the football? Are they passing the ball?
Right.
And that's when they were picking us apart, kind of like that run pass option you see in the NFL. But
when they, if you listen, did you go back and listen to Ball Hawks preview? He really did a great job of breaking down the mesh and what they do offensively and kind of how they attack you. I mean, it was very detailed. And if you want to know more about the X's and O's of what Wake Forest was doing tonight, even though the game's over, go back and listen to the Ball Hawks Wake Forest preview because he really did a good job of breaking it down. You kind of understand. It helped me tonight kind of watching and understanding what they wanted to do and how we might kind of counter what they were doing. But I'm looking at his stats. They had, oh my gosh, 1, 2, 3. So they had a guy so Green's long was 31. Morin, he had 11 for 166 and 1. Taylor Morin was 7 for 91 with a long of 26. They had a guy with a long of 42, another guy with a long of 34, another guy with a long of 31. I mean, good God.
They were chunks. They were chunks. I really didn't think I really felt like when we scored that touchdown, like the Bills against the Chiefs or the Chiefs and the 49ers, like we scored too quick, unfortunately. You can't just not go score, but it's like, could we take 3 knees, make them burn their timeouts, and then go score? Because I didn't know that we could stop them. We had to stop them twice.
Yep. So I don't know if you've seen this or not. Maryland lost a home game today to Michigan State.
And they were
favored in that game by 8.5.
Yeah.
And Michigan State went into their house and beat them. I forget the score. Was it 27-24 or something like that?
It was close. I left that game alone. I started to go bet Michigan State to plus 8.5, but I was like, I'm not messing with it. And funny enough, also, I hit 3 bets this afternoon at the 12 o'clock games. I bet I had Texas minus 6.5. I had
Did you alt
Syracuse.
line that? Because it went all the way
No,
up to like 8.
no, I had it at 6.5.
Oh wow, you got
And
in
then
early.
I bet I had Syracuse money line. And then
Oh
I
yeah,
had one of those little parlays, that's the one I thought I had lost. I had Oklahoma State money line, a parlay of Oklahoma State money line and Kansas State money line. That
yeah.
didn't look good. So moving into the 3 o'clock games, I had in my cart Iowa because Jack's been, but then I'm like, Jack's been talking about this a whole lot. I said, Jack never gets one right. So I took it out of the cart.
Well,
It
Iowa
saved me
ended up
some money.
losing. Yeah.
Yeah, it saved me some money because I had it in the cart and then I started thinking about it. I was like, you know what? That was one of Jack's locks on the morning show. And
Oh, it was Iowa.
yeah, that was one of his 6 picks. 3 college and 3 NFL. And Iowa was one of them. I said, you know what? I said, I can't do it. I can't follow Jack on a pick. So I went ahead and took that one off. And even Jack was sitting here today earlier talking about, I go ahead and bet that Iowa game.
Yeah.
And
They were up 13-0. Don't do it.
I like my money a little too much. But yeah.
So on Facebook, Don Smith says, "Let's go Who's." Styles Major, go Who's. I'm sure there's some others I'm probably missing.
Yeah. I'm on X just seeing what everybody's putting. The comments are coming in fast and furious.
I just want to say I'm really happy for the guys and Coach Elliott. Because you and I, we're texting and we're thinking, well, they fooled us again. Because we had a lot of hope. I know I fully expected to win this game and honestly win it fairly easily, and it didn't go that way at all.
Yep.
But man, I'm so happy for Coach Elliott, and I'm so happy for those guys.
OG who's he has his own stuff. So keep Tony Elliott name out y'all mother bleeping mouth. I'm coming for y'all MFs.
It's funny when things were going bad.
His name was in everybody's mouth.
Yeah, his name was in everybody's mouth. As we've said many times, barring like a winless season or something, the man's got a ton of momentum. You got to keep him around and let him build the quote unquote model program.
Right.
But this is a big win for the season. Obviously the first goal is to get to 6. So to get to 2, you're 2 for 2. Maryland's a winnable game.
Yep.
And then after that is Coastal Carolina. That's a winnable game. We kind of said, if you go back to like March, I think it was, when I wrote the article on the 3 games that will define the season, the Wake Forest game was the first one. And so I feel pretty good about that. I had Wake Forest, North Carolina, and Virginia Tech.
Mm-hmm.
And this game, Coach Elliott called it a program check game, kind of see where they're at. Wake Forest had made a bowl game, I think, was it 6 out of the last 7 years, or 6 years in a row, maybe before last year. So 6 out of 7. But, that's where we want to be. We want to get back to being that. So,
and another thing about Wake Forest offense, and I didn't even realize this, they were talking about it tonight. That's an offense that scored 30 points a game or more for the last, I don't know, 7 or 8 years. So it's not a bad, it's a good offense. It's at Wake Forest. By all means, I'm not comparing Virginia to the Alabamas and the Notre Dames. But I mean, and Alabama, I'm guessing is going to win the game.
They won 42-16. Even though it was 14-13.
It was 21-16 in the fourth. So that'll tell you what Alabama did. But Alabama was struggling with South Florida. Notre Dame loses to Northern Illinois. So even the big boys, have their struggles and we went to Wake Forest, and those were home games for those teams. We went to Wake Forest, and when it was all said and done, we got to win.
Yeah, and look, I mean, Look at
2-0
like
in the
South
win column.
Carolina. Look at South Carolina. They struggled to beat ODU last week. Should have lost that game. They're playing a ranked Kentucky team today on the road and go in and just destroyed them.
Right.
I mean, this college football is topsy-turvy. You don't know what's going to happen outside of like Georgia. I think, and I'm going to put Texas in there because I think Texas is that good. You don't know what you're going to get.
Right.
And so, you Virginia's got a real opportunity here because I don't think anybody in the ACC is outstanding.
And Virginia Tech, I mean, they pulled away earlier today. They're at home against Marshall. Libby, you're right. Great win. Great win.
Oh, yeah. Fantastic.
They pulled away from Marshall late. But I mean, that's at home against Marshall, and you're celebrating the 1999 football team. You got Frank Beamer there. You expect – I really expected them after last week to really come out and really hammer them. While at the end of the game, at least 8 different players had the ball from both teams. It was like a hot potato. Libby, I don't know if you were in the beginning, but we were talking about it, how scary it was. I was like, just get on the ball. And the ball kept squirting around.
Jeff said he had to go check as the ball was squirting around. He had to go check his draws for some squirts. But
I was concerned I might have a squirt coming because I was scared to death when that ball came up and they started running. I'm like, is this a Stanford miracle all over again?
Yeah.
Get the band on the field. But so
we could have milked a lot more time, Glenn. You're absolutely right. We could have.
Matt, our old boy Matt Ganyard, he said on Twitter, "What a freaking win for the Hoos tonight. Dudes out there battling and just straight wanting it more on both sides of the ball. No panic. Stick to the plan. Poise in that second half." And he said, UVA students better be ready to show up and show out on Saturday night.
That hill is going to be full. The student section is going to be full. I can't wait to see it. I'm like 99% sure I'm unable to attend, but hopefully, I know, Jeff, you're going to be there.
I'll be watching. Myself will be there. UVA media or UVA athletic department, if you're out there, I know you're listening.
Yeah, College Huddle, let us in.
Could you get us in the College Huddle into the media? Get us our media pass. We'd love to have that. And
well, I can tell you something, Joe. The program is undefeated with the Cavalier Connection in the media box.
And that's a great point. Undefeated with the Cavalier Connection in the media box. You need to get us our pass. President Jim Ryan, 2-0, great start to the season. What a big one. Even
locker room video has been posted, Joe.
Yes, there's a good video. I was watching that while you were talking a minute ago. They've got it's from Instagram. Wait, can you go 4 minutes on Instagram? It's a 4-minute video.
Our man, the Ball Hawks, already reposted our Who's Pull It Out 3130.
Yeah, he's the man. They posted the video of Calandria and all of them. It's a 4-minute video on X. Helen Keller's got it posted. I'm sure it's other places. I don't know if that's a Instagram. Is that an Instagram post, Jay? Can you go that long on Instagram?
You can, I think.
I think that's probably Instagram from the locker room. Everybody just go on X after we're done, or watch it with us, and you can see the celebration video on there. I mean, the smiles. Let's see if you can see here on Calandria's face. Can you see that?
Oh my!
They're having a good time in the locker room.
Hair Bear hit me, 3 hours ago. I said not going to win by kicking field goals from the 2 on X.
Right.
And he said, Hair Bear says, didn't age well. though I was saying the same thing. I think everybody kind of agreed.
We did win kicking one.
I didn't think that was the right call.
I didn't
in that situation. But it didn't end up costing us the win. So I can't wait to as soon as we finish, I'm gonna go watch some of those videos myself and
right
and enjoy just watching it again. So
I haven't bought my tickets for the Maryland game yet. I'm hoping that I'm gonna have a media pass. If not, The price probably just went up a little bit more on me.
Yeah, they did for sure. The price definitely went up, but that's a good thing. You want it to be a sellout, man. How awesome would it be to get a sellout in that one? And I got to study up on Maryland a little bit. I know they lost Tua's brother, Tagovailoa.
Right.
No, he's not there anymore. But I have to study up on them before I say too much. But losing at home against Michigan State, who's in pretty much a full rebuild, that doesn't sound like they're firing on all cylinders. But I will say, again, they've got athletes, they're talented. Our defense is banged up, and so we're going to have to score a lot of points, no doubt.
Yep. And Ball Hawk, we're 2-0 with Ball Hawk as our calling the game. So go get us. Him and Matt Schaub are 2-0.
Well, Schaub didn't call this one.
Oh, Schaub wasn't at this one.
No.
So Jay, you for the listening audience, Jay, you listened to the game from Ball Hawk and muted the TV.
The first half.
The
first half. It got kind of hectic in the second half with some things I was doing here, but and I got behind a little bit from live for a few minutes, and so then I had to go the TV route. But if you can, man, that's a much better way to watch a game because John Freeman, excellent. And then, the Ball Hawks just so daggone smart. And he breaks down X's and O's so well.
And he's entertaining doing it.
I just love listening to him.
Yep. Jackie says exactly what we just said a minute ago. Great comeback win by UVA with a few players stepping up in big moments. Not sure UVA wins this last year.
I'm sure they don't.
Right.
They don't.
Right.
And it keeps, I'm trying to keep up too with what's going, people posting.
There's so much coming through. Let's see what they got Tony after the game. Let me hear what he had to say.
Tennessee over NC State, 51-10.
Right. Coach. Get him on the ground.
Challenging these guys to grow up, and tonight they took a step forward, being down in the fourth quarter to come back and find a way to win. And that's all I can say. That's a good load of buck.
Yeah, let's talk about your defense.
Can you hear this?
Not really.
Yeah, I'll check some of that out and when we get off of here. But
yeah, I don't know how much more we've got on this one, Jeff, but it's a good night to be a Wahoo. And as Travis says here, good start to the season. You're right, Travis. Hey, after 2 games, you can only have 1, 2, and that's what we've done.
We're at a perfect start here.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of teams out there that would love to trade places with us, and now we move on to Maryland. As you said before, Richmond, let's go 1-0 this week. Now we get Maryland at home. Let's go 1-0 this week. Can't look at 3-0. You got to look at let's go 1-0 again.
Florida State would like to be trade places with us.
Oh, good Lord, yeah. And the ACC is just wide open, man. I mean, Syracuse looks good, but I mean, who have they really beat? Georgia Tech looked good, but then Florida State, Boston College looked good, but what are they really? We don't know what anybody really is.
What did Cavalier say before the season? What were his goals?
Oh, it was outrageous. Wasn't it like ACC championship or Heisman?
ACC championship and go to the playoffs.
Yeah. They're all still attainable.
Still in front of him. And he told that was the one we read. Jonathan Cotton put out there from a Good Feet store.
Yeah.
That was Calandria's goal, and I love it. Hey, all of them are still out there in front of him.
Well, this was the Cavalier Gold post-game show, Jeff.
Oh, yeah,
Cavalier Gold post-game show brought to you by Cavalier Gold.
I got to answer this one. This is Jack calling me.
Yeah. CavalierGold.com. If for all of your gold IRA needs, If you go to that website, we would greatly appreciate it. It helps support the show. They track even if you just go to the website, they track how many hits it gets, and it would mean a great deal to Jeff and I to be able to look and see that people are at least going to the website cavaliergold.com. And I mean, Cavalier Gold. Can you get a better name for a website than that? Cavaliergold.com. I don't think you can. I mean, but anyway.
Real quick, I do want to mention the Cavalier Gold comment of the night here. Ahmad Hawkins says, winners respond to adversity. No better feeling than witnessing players believing in each other and putting their body on the line for their brothers. Who's are 2-0.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
That's going to be our Cavalier Gold Twitter comment of the night for sure.
Yeah.
Ball Hawk, he's always on the clock.
Yeah.
And I'm sure tomorrow he'll have his recap. His recap is an outstanding listen.
Yes, it is. Yep. Get your reps in.
Yep.
You
ready to wrap this one up?
Yep, we wrap it up. It looks like we got around, close to 300 people with us right now. We appreciate each and every one of you. We'd love to see that 300 go to 3,000, and we can do that with your help and spreading the show. When this is over, go back and watch. We've got interviews. We've got a ton of interviews with players.
Tyler Neville, check his interview out.
Yeah, that's and honestly, it really helps you really feel like you get to know these guys. And as much as a UVA fan as we were before this podcast, I can't even begin to tell you how much bigger of a fan I am, and I think I can say that for Jeff too.
When Tyler scored those touchdowns, and
I was pumping.
You're hitting me with a quick text. I'm feeling like that's a family member just scored.
Yeah,
that's just one of us.
Yep.
So
they're the good guys got one tonight, guys. Be happy. Don't drink too much. Don't drink and drive. And
go to cavaliergold.com.
Yep, go to cavalier.com, cavaliergold.com. And all I got left to say, Jeff, is go Who's.
Go Who's. We'll see you guys next week.